comments at all?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I've received absences from Councillor Martin Murray and Councillor Peter Mason. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, item number 2 even. Declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest at all regarding what we're going to talk about? Okay, thank you for that. Item number 3, minutes of the meeting held on the 2nd of July, which are shown on pages 3 and 6. Any comments and any points that anybody would like to raise at all? We'll take them as a true record. Obviously sign those at some point. Yep. Wonderful. Moving on to item number 4, transfer of land of St Bernadettes Catholic Primary School in Wombourne, pages 7 to 12. That is you, and I'm just having a look, and it's recommendations by Chris Large, Cabinet Member for Finance and Resources. Thank you, Chris.
Good morning. Right, our recommendation for this St Bernadette's Catholic Primary School, it's for the transfer of land at Wombourne. It's to approve the transfer of the freehold interest in the land in accordance with the provisions of the School Standards and Frameworks Act 1988 and amended by the Education Inspections Act 2006. The proposal is to transfer of the freehold of the land, which is the access road and the car park at the school, in accordance with the Acts, to the trustees. The trustees are Birmingham Roman Catholic Diocese trustees, and that's the proposal to move forward. Is there any questions?
Thank you for that. Any questions at all want to be raised by anybody regarding that? I'll give you all a second to digest and have a look. We all happy with that? Just give you 60 seconds while I just go through. We all happy to accept the recommendations then? Excellent. We'll take that as so. Moving on to the next agenda item, number 5, transfer of land at St Joseph's Catholic Primary School, Hednesford, pages 13 to 18. And I have to scroll up again. Is that going to be Christopher? It is indeed. Chris, please.
This is a similar situation. So our recommendation is to approve the transfer of the freehold interest of the land in accordance with the Act of 1988, the Framework Act, and amended in 2006. We currently own the land, and this will be transferred to the Birmingham Roman Catholic Diocese, registered as the trustees.
I'm going to ask again. Any points, comments, opinions? I'll give you 30 seconds to have a think. Okay, I will suggest that we take the recommendations. Are you all happy with that? Thank you very much for that. Item number 6, variation of academy lease to permit subletting of an apologies for pronunciation. Alleyne's Academy Stone, is that correct? Have I pronounced that correctly? Alleyne's. My apologies to everybody there. Pages 19 to 30. Any comments at all? Yeah. Okay. Chris.
Thank you. This proposal put forward is the amendment of the existing academy lease to allow the subletting of the former wet changing areas of Stone Old Alleyne's Football Club. Delegation of the final details of the lease amendments to the Assistant Director for Commercial and Assets. The current lease to Alleyne's Academy does not allow for subletting. The school is removing the swimming pool and wishes to allow a local football club to use part of the site for their activities and for a clubhouse. The lease will need to be amended to allow subletting, and that is our recommendation moving forward.
Ian Turner.
Just by way of background, the previous two items are all part of just standard school running. They're diocesan schools. They have the ownership of the non-playing field areas of school. When we do academisation, we find sometimes that there's bits of details that aren't quite right, so that's just regularising that. So those two items, fairly standard. This item is a little bit unusual. So normally we do not allow subletting of school land under the academy lease. And you'll kind of appreciate why that might be the case, is because they are only leased under relatively tight rules just for the operation of a school. Now, Alleyne's is a slightly different situation. So Alleyne's had a joint use leisure centre on it. So the Borough Council was part of that, the use of that leisure centre. An old swimming pool. You'll be aware in Stone that the Borough Council have invested significantly in leisure facilities in the town anyway. So Alleyne's have got these old facilities that are very expensive and not typical of all high schools, by the way. They've come to the position that they are unaffordable to run. And the Borough Council were putting more money in terms of refurbishment, but it's not financially viable for them. So they need to look at this site now and say, what can they do with it? It has the benefit excuse me, that it's a split site. So you've got the sports facilities on one side of the road and you've got the operational side of the school on the other side of the road. So what the school want to do is that they want to demolish the swimming pools because they can't afford to run them. I mean, nowadays there's no curriculum requirement for a high school to provide swimming in any case. So there's no obligations on there, and in terms of delivery of their curriculum, there's no loss to them through the loss of that facility. But still, you know, schools do have financial pressures like all public bodies do, really. And so they're looking at how can they make a sustainable use of that area. So what they want to do is they want to take the contribution from the Borough Council, contributions from the FA, and they want to allow this area of use to be part of the area of the site to be redeveloped for a Stone Old Alleynians football club to use. So there's some community benefit there in terms of a site for the club. So that's really for the school to worry about. It's their operation. It's their implications in terms of the school and safeguarding and all that kind of thing, and how is it operated on a day-to-day basis. The county council's concern, and in terms of what we've looked at that, is there's an educational or a potential educational asset. So how might that affect our obligations in the future? So when we looked at it, we said, well, if the school are happy with the operation of that area, and as I say, it's sports facilities, it's not affecting curriculum delivery, that's fine. So we really come down to, might we need it for expansion of school places in the future? So our school organisation team have had a look at that, and they've said, from all the projections of house building, population growth, etc., we can certainly say within the next 10 years, then we won't need to, but we need to reserve our position after that. So because of funding arrangements from the FA and that kind of thing, they wanted more than 10 years, so we've stretched it to 11 years. So we're quite confident that we won't need it for school expansions within the next 11 years. So let the school undertake their proposals. To do that, we need to just change the lease to allow subletting. So that's what we're proposing. So just a bit of background there for you to understand that it's not quite a standard decision that we would make on schools. Thank you.
I've just got one more point as well, that there's a local member, Councillor Jill Hodd, who's in support of this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I'd actually got the similar letter from Jill, so obviously she's trying to do it twice. Jill being the member for Stone Urban, so it directly impacts her. I'll just read the top line. Yeah, I give my full support to the sublease of the Academy sports facilities to Old Alleynians FC. This development is urgently needed and would be a tremendous asset to the community, and the initiative represents a crucial opportunity to enhance community engagement and promote mental health and well-being and physicality. And then the body of the letter is the same. Well, ladies, I'll give you 30 seconds to think about it. Any points or comments at all? Any additional bits people would like to raise? I propose we accept it then. We all agree? Thank you very much indeed. And I think actually that looks to me like the last item on the agenda. Nothing else on, there's no exclusions or privacy. So in that case, I shall end the meeting. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Meeting is an end.